Hi, everybody, and welcome as we get your baseball back underway. Had a lengthy rain and lightning delay, but did not have a whole lot of rain, nor did we have that much lightning. But what it did do was put a pretty big dent in our schedule. So we are ready now to go with a 4 o'clock matchup that begins at about 5:35. Leeds and Foley 99. Hi, everybody. Robert Williamson set to bring you the coverage. As you got a leadoff walk to Lehman Giddens. And Kamari Nation coming to the plate next. Taking a look at the lineups for Leeds. As picked off over at first is Giddens. So Colby Johnson walks him, then picks him off. And there is one away. Kamari Nation batting second. He's at the plate. Jacob Calvin is the 3-hitter. Levi Parrish batting fourth. Aiden Lang fifth. Carter Norris is the 6-hitter as that is sent out of play. 7-guy Jacarius Burrow. Landon Tyler batting eighth. Riley Johnson is the 9-hitter. Meanwhile, Colby Johnson on the hill for Foley. Behind the plate, you'll find James Knudse. First baseman Cohen Lambeth. At second, Ethan Bettner. The shortstop is Hayden Brazil. And at third, Bryant Banks. In that outfield, Cooper Walker in left. In center field, it is Mitchell Tuberville. As you got a strikeout of Nation. And 2 quick outs here in the top of the first. And over in right field, Colton Watkins. So 2 gone. Jacob Colvin to the plate. Levi Parrish moving to the on-deck circle on what has turned into a pretty good-looking Thursday evening after that lightning cloud and light rain activity moved out of Troy. And hopefully we are done with the precip until maybe around 10:30 tonight. Get all of our baseball in. On the outside part of the plate to Calvin. Bright sun shining on a Thursday afternoon. Didn't get particularly hot today, about 86. Floated to short there, the diving catch made by Hayden Brazil. And it's a 3-up, 3 down, top of the first.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
We head to the bottom of the first, and it's Hayden Brazil who will start things off. Cooper Walker is your 2 guy. Brian Banks batting 3rd. Colby Jordan in the 4th spot. Colton Watkins bats 5th. 6-hitter Ethan Bettner. Mitchell Tuberville in the 7th spot. Cohen Lambeth batting 8th, and James Knudse is the 9-hitter. Carter Norris getting the start on the hill for Leeds. Behind the plate is Jacarius Burrow. At first, Landon Tyler. Second baseman Aiden Lang. At short, Levi Parrish. And you've got Jacob Calvin at 3rd. In the outfield, Kamari Nation is in left. Layman Giddens in center, and Riley Johnson is in right. Well, I got a special treat for you. Patrick Kennedy, who was commissioner with the American Legion, graciously agreed. I don't know if it was my people talking to his people, but he has decided he will indeed sit in for a bit of the Foley Leeds game. Patrick Kennedy, just prior to going on the air, we found out that we indeed live in a very small world.
We do. We found out our wives actually grew up really close to each other, and I didn't dare ask how old these ladies are, just for etiquette. But
Yes.
But yes, we found out that our wives are from the same neck of the woods, as we call it down here in the Wiregrass. So.
And it's a small neck of the woods down in Florida.
It is down in Florala, what we call Lower Covington County.
Yep.
Or you can call it lower North Florida and Lower Alabama, and my wife actually went to Paxton High School, which is just across the state line, which is I guess a suburb of Florala.
Yep. On the other side of the border, so to speak.
Correct.
But in Florida. Well, as a matter of fact, my wife's sister was a librarian at Paxton for years.
Wonderful.
So, man, it is a small world.
It is
after
a small world.
That is popped up by Cooper Walker into center field, and that will drop in front of Layman Giddens. And Foley with a base runner aboard here with 1 away.
I'd like to add that we're excited to be here at Troy University for the 100th anniversary of American Legion Baseball. And the team here from Post 70 has won 2 of the last 3 World Series. And we wanted to give them an opportunity to host this tournament on this great campus here at Troy University.
And, of course, Ross Hickson in charge of Post 70. As a matter of fact, he's the fellow that gave me a holler. So thank you very much, Ross, for the opportunity to be here. 100 plus years. And by the way, I looked at the Wikipedia for American Legion Baseball. Man, that's a who's who in MLB that has played American Legion ball.
That's correct, and I will have some stats later this weekend on that. I actually left them at the hotel when I checked in trying to get to this game. But there are some statistics. There's some great names of who's who in Major League Baseball that have played their summers with American Legion.
A little bit outside with a pitch to Brian Banks. Colby Jordan moving to the on-deck circle.
And I'd like to add that this Post 70 has got several players playing in the major leagues as well, the host team here at Post 70.
I did not know that. Off to third will go Walker after throwing the mistake by Norris. And a 2-base error has got Walker 90 feet away here in the bottom of the inning. Well, that rain, which it was light, the lightning, which really never developed severely, but it postponed things. Might be kind of like, I think it was Bear Bryant who had a team that didn't get to play, and then they were sitting back in the, in the field house waiting, chomping in the bit, and then came out with lights out football. Might be the same way here. These guys have been sitting, waiting patiently, and finally they get the opportunity to play.
Right. This is their first game of the tournament. They've been looking forward to this event all year. We've been planning this for over 6 months, and we do talk about this South Alabama weather where rain comes out of nowhere, and then you blink and it's gone.
And it can be a sunny start and a cloudy, rainy thunderstorm finish to a game as Bryant Banks is given the walk. And you got a couple of base runners on for Colby Jordan. All right, where do they go from here? Where does the winner of this tournament go? Is there a regional next?
There is a regional that they will go to in South Carolina. And after that, if they can advance out of the regional, and the regional have 8 teams. It'll be an 8-team tournament. If they can advance out of the regional, they will go to Shelby, North Carolina for the World Series, American Legion World Series, which can be seen on ESPN networks, some of the several networks of ESPN.
Colby Jordan with a couple of base runners on, taking off for second. Banks, throw going down to third, but able to get back safely. Walker.
Yeah, I was telling the umpire earlier about the World Series and why it's in Shelby, North Carolina, and that's happened about 15 years ago. They had moved it to Shelby, North Carolina, and that small little town right there below the Appalachians has really embraced that tournament.
That'll get into the dirt, and Walker will make his way home. To third goes Banks. Foley on the board here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, in Shelby, North Carolina, when they have those, when they have the World Series tournament, each team of the 8 teams that advance, they get a host organization, whether it's a church, a Civitan club, or whatever, a group of folks or a family that embraces the team and follows them their entire stay.
Little high and away with a pitch, and Jordan give a walk, back-to-back walks. Have a couple of base runners on. They'll be on the corners for Colton Watkins. Okay, why am I thinking with Shelby, North Carolina military? Is there a military base there, or maybe
it's just
Shelbyville?
It's just below. It might be Shelby. It's just below, I guess, Hickory, North Carolina, right there, and on that I-40 corridor that goes through North Carolina.
That's a pretty part of the state.
It is. You're kind of in the foothills before you get straight into the Appalachia. And but anyway, it's a great little quaint town that really loves on these kids when they show up and shows them a hospitality like no other.
And he's popped up high into the air behind the bag at second, and it'll drop off the middle by parachute short. Banks will come in to score, trotting into second. Jordan and on at first. Compliments of the error is Watkins. Now, was Shelby a victim of that flooding that took place in October? Or
they're actually a little bit lower. Shelby is about 40 minutes outside of Charlotte to the south. And anyhow, I don't believe they got damage from the hurricane that went up that way and caused the flooding in the Appalachian Mountains.
Bettner slapping it over towards third, charging in Calvin. Gave a look to second, goes to first for the sure out. And there's 2 away. That's got Mitchell Tuberville coming to the plate. Couple of RBI opportunities in Jordan and Watkins. Cohen Lambeth moving to the on-deck circle. Now, in the regionals, you mentioned 8 teams. Is that a host and 7 state representatives?
That's exactly what happens. Yeah, the host team always puts a team up, and that yes, and then that's what happens at a regional, and then it moves up.
Jordan coming in from third on the wild pitch. Going to third is Watkins, and Foley now with 3 here in the bottom of the first. Still 2 gone.
Years ago, they did a realignment of the Alabama team, and they were in the Mid-South region, and Troy advanced out of that, and that was their first trip to the World Series as of late when they won in 23. Excuse me, it was in 22, and then they realigned us and they put us back into the Southern region, which incorporated the Carolinas and Florida, Puerto Rico, and Troy actually last year came out of that region. That's a tough region to come out of. That team last year actually did a great job coming out of that region and advancing to the World Series.
2 gone, a runner on, 3 are in. We're in the bottom of the first. Game just underway, slated for a 4 o'clock start. Weather prompted the delay, and I guess that means, what have you got, about a half-hour break between this one and the last one?
We would, but of course we would give everyone enough time to get prepared to move into that last game. So we might be playing under the lights a little longer than we anticipated.
Dropped in front of second baseman Aiden Lang. He'll fire over to first. Misfire in to score is Watkins. And on safely at first, Tuberville. Boy, I'm pondering whether to charge an error or give a hit. I feel like he would have made it regardless, but the throwaway kind of guaranteed that Watkins would come in. So I'm unofficial. I tell folks anything I do is unofficial. Unofficially, the run will come in and the runner's on. Compliments of the error. Cohen Lambeth to the plate. Taking a high pitch. Now, how far in advance do you know where the state tournaments are going to be?
We make those decisions sometime around January or February. We've been Tuscaloosa, Huntsville, Birmingham, Shelby County, Alabama, which is the Pelham area. We've also we were scheduled to have in 2020 we were scheduled to be in Montgomery at the Biscuit Stadium, but of course the pandemic put a damper on those that season.
Low inside pitch. It will hop away from Burrow, and off to second goes Tuberville.
Also that year, we were hosting a regional here in Alabama, so we were going to have the state tournament, and then the regional was going to be at the same location with Post 70 hosting. But again, like I mentioned, the pandemic put an end to that project, and we moved on to 21 post-pandemic.
So is there a chance of it coming back to Riverwalk, or I say coming back?
Possibly. Those are bid. The regionals are bidded out for a 2-year cycle, and this year's the first year of these bids. So it would be we would have to bid on that possibility next year for the following 2 years, which would be 27-28.
Strike delivered on the outside part of the plate. That will get Cohen Lambeth. A base runner is stranded, and a total of 4 runs come in as we head to the top of the second in a 4-zip ball game. Top of the second gets underway. Levi Parrish to begin it. Aiden Lang and Carter Norris due up in the inning, too. I know this is probably trivial, but for me it's not. How do you determine who is the home and away team?
That is determined by a coin flip before the game. So that we'll do a coin flip until we get to the into the next rounds, because that'll be determined by the team that's coming in from whatever bracket, the winners that has the best record. So we will do the coin flip until, again, like I said, until we go into a winner, someone coming out of a loser's bracket and a winner's bracket. So I guess that we would have a coin flip again tomorrow, because we will have an elimination game, and then we move into it'll be the home team will be the team with the better record, And that's we took that is exactly what they do at regionals.
Hit by the pitch is Levi Parrish, and he will go down to first as a hit batsman, putting a base runner aboard for Leeds, trying to respond to those 4 runs that plated in the bottom of the first.
And the matchups, we decide these matchups from a draw out of a hat. Each coach pulls pulls a piece of paper out of a hat, just old-fashioned way, and that'll determine what spot you're in for these first 4 games, and from there it's bracketed.
And he's popped up by Aiden Lang. Coming off the bump, Colby Johnson, he'll make the catch. Holding over in first is Parrish. There is 1 away. So these coaches meet and have that?
They do, and if they can't meet, then they'll ask a representative to pull it out of hat. But also last week we had the 17U, which is our varsity division, and a junior varsity division tournament, and that was held in Shelby County up at Pelham High School, and we were Post 34 won that out of Post 34 at Tuscaloosa, the varsity division, which is your high schoolers, and but so most of the coaches have a junior team, and they will be at that tournament as well, and so they're able to pull their selection out of a hat at that time.
Carter Norris with a base runner on, 1 away. Swing and a miss. Jacarius Burrow to the on-deck circle. Bottom of the order. Starts the bottom of the second, James Nutzi, followed by the top 2 guys in the order, Hayden Brazil and Cooper Walker. There's a swing and a miss by Norris. Now the varsity division, do they go to North Carolina for a World Series?
They do not. They do not. We've the American Legion at our national or international level, or national level rather, out of Indianapolis has not expanded that. There's been talks about it, but it's a very that tournament's it's an expensive tournament. It's very difficult to coordinate and organize, and to have a second tournament is would take a major undertaking. But maybe in the future we can get them to organize one, and I think it would be great for that age bracket.
So 19U is the only World Series. Is it a state or regional champ, the highest you can achieve as, say, a varsity?
In the varsity level, it's a state championship, yes. A couple years ago, we had a regional, I say we, at the department here in Alabama, we had a tournament at Rickwood Field in Birmingham, the historic Rickwood Field, in which we brought varsity age groups from all over the Southeast and tried to do a regional tournament. It wasn't sanctioned by the National American Legion, but it was a baseball committee. But it was one that we just organized to try to give those give that age bracket another level to advance to.
2 gone after the strikeout of Norris. Jacarius Burrow to the plate. You mentioned Rick Wood. I've done several games there. Wasn't it last year that MLB went there for a night? Man, that had to be an electric night.
It was great. Now, I will tell you, we had it several years ago, and since Major League Baseball has shown up, there have been many, many improvements to the facility, and it's really nice. But it was great to play on it there, and just the nostalgia and the history that Rickwood Field has. The players, the coaches, the parents were very excited about being there for that tournament.
Landon Tyler next. Burrow, it is 1-2. 2 gone and a base runner at first. Parrish got doinked, and he stayed over at first after being hit by the pitch. Swing, miss. Barrow goes down, a strikeout victim. 4 go up, 3 go down. 1 is stranded as we head to the bottom of the second. Just about all Wayne Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the
gap.
Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski.
There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
Now batting for Foley, number 99, James Ducey.
We head to the bottom of the second, bottom of the order. James Ducey will start it. Hayden Brazil and Cooper Walker due up in the inning, too. And I know you got to take a break here in just a minute, but before you go, I got to know what your duties are as commissioner. Or do we have time to talk about all the duties
That's right.
that you probably have?
Right. One of our duties is to coordinate and make sure we have the state tournament. There are a lot of things to do to make sure this works out for a season, and it begins, like I said, in January. As a commissioner, we have to make sure every player is eligible. There's requirements, and as you can imagine, to prevent, as I would say, poaching of players and territories, because American Legion originated as a team from an area, and so you can see as we have urban sprawl and you have teams that overlap each other, and so we have to make sure all of those rules are adhered to make sure it's fair and equitable for the areas, the coaches, the players, and also make sure that they're eligible, make sure they meet the age requirements and the other eligibility requirements to play. And so that takes a lot, and we have well over several hundred players that we have to make sure with all the divisions that they are eligible to play. And that's one of the duties.
Back to the top of the order, Hayden Brazil in the plate. He struck out looking in the first.
And that can be very heated and challenging at times when we don't have a player that's eligible, and parents are upset, coaches are upset. But it's a necessary evil that we have to do to ensure that that everything is fair and above board, and just keep in mind to just allow these players to have a good time and play baseball. This is a youth organization, and an organization, the American Legion Baseball, sponsored by American Legion, and it's to support and encourage Americanism across our nation.
78-mile-an-hour pitch. Runner will take off. Ducey in safely with a stolen base at second on a called strike.
And I'd like to say that the rules and the process and everything, we've had to have done something right. We've been around 100 years.
Yeah.
And look at the track record that we have, and ESPN's picked us up. So this is great.
Yeah, I don't think ESPN just hops on any ball game anywhere, anytime. They're pretty picky.
That they are, and American Legion Baseball is a great product. It's great baseball. They are great athletes across this state and across the nation in baseball, and especially here in Alabama. We've watched great baseball games, and these two teams they're talented as well. They're really putting a show for us.
One away, one aboard. We're in the bottom of the second. And two, I would assume, we tend to think that a baseball commissioner's job is summer, maybe a week or two before summer, a week or two after. It's pretty much year-round.
It is, and we'll in off season we'll have a meeting once a month and go over things, and we'll exchange emails. We have a conference in September we go to for a weekend, and then we start gathering and trying to recruit teams out of different areas right before the high school baseball season starts.
On the inside part of the plate with the pitch to Cooper Walker, who had a single in the first, got to third on a throwing error by Norris, and then eventually came in and scored a run. Brian Banks to the on-deck circle. Now, last name Kennedy, are you part of the Cape Cod Kennedys?
No, I'm not. Growing up, I used to tell everybody I was, and then I found out through the Ancestry.com that we came from Scotland, and we were banned from Scotland and ended up coming to the North Carolina area. So, anyhow, no, we're not from the Camelot family, of Massachusetts.
Brian Banks walked in the first to the plate with 2 gone and a runner still aboard. Nutzi at second. Now, you call Alabama home?
I do. My dad was military. I grew up all over, but I ended up, ironically, I came here to Troy University from growing up in the Panhandle in Panama City, and kept moving north and ended up in Shelby County, Alabama, in Alabaster, and that's where I now live with my family. So,
well, there's some scary comparisons or similarities in that I'm a Panhandle guy that married a Florella woman. You're a Panhandle guy that married a Florella woman.
Correct.
You do not. I can assure you, you do not want to follow my path.
Correct. And we just met an hour or so ago, and we're probably soulmates for life.
Now, what high school in Panama City?
I went to Panama City, Rutherford, because my dad was military, and that's that side of town, the east side, the side of town that took the full brunt of Hurricane Michael.
Looks like we're getting a pitching change. I mean, Carter Norris comes off the pump and just gives the baseball to coach. So, a lot of times pitchers want to hang on to that baseball, but apparently not so here. Norris knew it was time to go.
Well, and I'm not sure where his pitch count is, but I'm sure he's trying to save him where he can reappear later in the weekend. And so plus he might not be getting that outside call or just having a good outing. So Coach Edwin's making a change, and hopefully this Leeds team will get back on track with this 4-point deficit.
Got a new pitcher coming in, the new guy, when we return.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
The new pitcher is Jacob Calvin. Jacob Calvin in for Carter Norris. Norris working an inning and 2/3, faced 11, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, a hit. He's allowed 4 runs, leaves with a runner aboard. First pitch, Banks pops up to second, and there the catch is made by Lang. So we put 2 in the books. Go into the third with the bottom of the order, 2 up for Leeds.
Of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
Top of the third gets underway. Landon Tyler will start, and Riley Johnson and Layman Giddens 2 up in the inning 2. 4-zip ball game. Those 4 runs for Foley scoring in the bottom of the first. And great to have you watching wherever you may be watching our game coverage, whether it is in Troy, in Leeds, in Foley, or points between or beyond. We're delighted to have you on the other end of the coverage. Fouled away by Landon Tyler. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. There is a subscription button nearby, and all you got to do is click on it. That is it to be able to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we're trying to get to 7,000. And right now, let's see, we are 47 subscribers away. Now, yes, it was probably a lofty goal in thinking that we could get to 7,000 by the end of the day, needing about 70 some odd to get there. But hey, what's the old saying? Think big or go home. James Knudsen. Gotta love this bat boy, though. I love the fact that your bat boy comes over, puts his hand on the shoulder of Knudsen, and just wants to make sure that he's okay. And that's worth another look. Bat boy checking on his catcher. Can't see him real well, but he puts his hand on his shoulder. Just wants to make sure he's okay. Hey, that's a bat boy doing his job and going beyond the call of duty. Strike 3, got the outside part of the plate, and Tyler was caught looking. K number 4 for Colby Johnson. And there is one away with the bottom of the order, Riley Johnson to the plate. So you got that Johnson versus Johnson battle. Colby on the hill, Riley at the plate. Top of the order, Lehman Giddens moving to the on-deck circle. By the way, I saw in the YouTube chat room somebody asking if the game got underway at 5:30. Actually, it was about 5:38. Almost 5:30, not quite. So your 7 o'clock game, I feel real confident in saying it ain't going to start at 7. Sent foul by Johnson. And we'll see when it gets started. I would say this one got underway about an hour 38 late. Maybe if we can make up some ground. I think that Nutzi thought that was into the strike zone, began the process of throwing it around the horn. But if we could lop maybe a half hour off that 90 minutes behind, start the game at 8 p.m., that wouldn't be too shabby. Top of the third, 4-zip game. Walker, Banks, Jordan, and Watkins all coming in the first inning. Floated in the direction of left, and there for the catch is Cooper Walker. So Johnson with a fly out for out number 2. And that's got Lehman Giddens coming to the plate. Giddens with a walk in the first, back to the plate in the third. Kamari Nation moving to the on-deck circle. I mentioned earlier today the all-names team. I mean, that's not really an official team. You don't get a plaque, a trophy, a certificate. It's just if we had one kind of team. And if we had an all-names team, the on-deck hitter, Kamari Nation, would be on there. I mean, Nation. How could you not add somebody with Nation in their name? One ball, one strike to Giddens. Got on with a walk and then got picked off over at first. Into the strike zone with a pitch to Giddens. Into the dirt with the drop, strike 3. Down to first goes the throw. And Giddens officially an out, was already a strikeout. The 6th one of the game for Colby Johnson. We go to the bottom of the third. Colby Jordan, Colton Watkins, and Ethan Bettner coming up.
In 2006, the Alabama Baseball Coaches Association has awarded 80 high school seniors a total of $130,000 in scholarships to be used during their freshman year of college. Each May, the scholarship recipients and their parents are recognized on the field during the 7A AHSAA State Championship Series. Please consider supporting the ALA BCA Scholarship Program by clicking the Donate button at alabca.org.
Bottom of the third, Colby Jordan is starting. Colton Watkins and Ethan Bettner due up in the inning, too. Jordan with a walk and a run scored in that 4-run first. Leeds still looking for their first hit of the ball game. Outside with the pitch to Jordan. Well, what's it like in Troy, Alabama after that rain and lightning delay of about 90 minutes? Well, it looks pretty doggone good. It says cloudy, but maybe it's cloudy where they keep the weather gear. Here in Pace Riddle, it is sunny. 80 degrees. Feels like 82. Winds out of the south-southeast at 7, gusting to 14. 7:45 sunset, 82% humidity. 10-mile visibility with a walk given to Colby Jordan. And he will make his way down to first. Colton Watkins to the plate.
Number 36, Colton Watkins.
Ethan Bettner to the on-deck circle. Looks like the rain is now to the northeast of us. Maybe a little bit to the north. Hopefully that's all moving away. Hourly forecast doesn't mention any rain until tomorrow morning at about 10. And, of course, your baseball gets underway at 2 tomorrow. Air quality 34 and good. UV index is 0. So you can get in the stands and work on the tan and not burn. Of course, you wouldn't tan probably. That's the bad news. The good news is you wouldn't burn. And lastly, but not leastly, you got to know something about the moon. Next full moon, 16 days. Got a moon set at 8:04 tonight. And the moon is currently 234,253 miles from Earth. There you go, everything I got weather related. What is the relevancy of the moon especially? Well, I mean, technically, be it ever so slight, doesn't the moon have some kind of impact on the gravitational pull? I mean, I don't know. School topics were not my forte. Colton Watkins reached on an error, came in and scored in that first inning. And I guess it was a blessing that my first job was in radio. It's the only thing. I mean, I got in trouble in school for talking, so why not put it to good use? One aboard, nobody gone, bottom of the third. Ethan Bettner to the on-deck circle. Here in the bottom part of inning 3 when you get to the 4th. Nation, Calvin, and Parrish. Major League Baseball, one final. Orioles are beating the Guardians 4-3. Tigers lead the Blue Jays 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Everything else begins a little bit later. Padres and Cardinals not long from now, in about 15 minutes. WNBA, Sparks with a 32-27 lead over the Sun. 6:55 to go in the half. Aces and Fever tied at 18. And you got a walk given to Watkins. And that is after 1. Is Caitlin playing? I'm thinking no. But let me check. She is not. I don't know how long she's supposed to be out with that injury, but she is not playing tonight. Fouled away by Bettner. I know a lot of times it is really difficult to quantify the impact somebody has on the game, or really even why, because they may not necessarily be the best player ever. And Caitlin Clark would fit into that category. I'm not saying she's the best WNBA player in the history of the league. As that is ground over to short, backhanded by Parrish and dropped it second. Safely there is Watkins. It'll be an error. Hayden Lang just couldn't hang on. But something about the Caitlin Clark phenomena that sells tickets, builds crowds, increases television ratings. I think there may be a discussion with Coach that the ball came out when transitioning from glove to throwing hand. If that was the argument, it's been heard, but play stands as called. Bases are loaded, nobody out. Bottom of the third. Mitchell Tuberville to the plate. Now, are you like me? Let's hope not, first of all. But if you are, when you look at scores, I mean, there seems to be a routine of things that you're interested in. Popped up, over into foul territory. Jacob Calvin able to get there from third. And the base is still loaded with one away. When I look at scores, WNBA, I'm checking out Caitlin Clark, how she has fared. Maybe Angel Reese. Then in baseball, I look at Bryce Harper. His stats. And how many people go to watch a Marlins game. Those are intriguing things to me. Yes, it's the oddities that are a little intriguing at times, like the Marlins attendance. And what caught my attention was earlier in the year when there was about 5,000 in the stands of a 40,000 seat place. I'm not sure what all the delay is about. Here comes Cohen Lambeth to the plate. Runners at first, second, and third. And this is actually a pinch hitter, Brady Nichols, in for Lambeth. And Lambeth has yet to get an at-bat. And won't hear as Nichols steps in to hit. That's a base hit. That's why you got him to pinch hit. Jordan in to score. And Nichols delivering with a pinch hit RBI single. Watkins to third, Bettner to second. Nichols on at first for James Knudse. And the base is still loaded in a 5-zip game. Bottom of the third, one away, one in, base is full. Jacob Calvin in relief of Carter Norris. Here, by the way, the numbers on Norris. Worked an inning and 2/3, faced 11, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, a hit, and 4 runs. Ground foul towards third. Knudse with a walk and a stolen base in the second. Hayden Brazil, the top of the order, to the on-deck circle. That is swatted in the direction of right field. Will it drop? Nope, Johnson able to get over, make the catch. Tagging from third, Watkins, and he will score on the sacrifice. So Nutsi with a productive out. Driving in another run. And Bettner will go to third. Nichols stays put at first. And there's two gone from the top of the order. Hayden Brazil. Brazil, a couple of strikeouts, one looking and one swinging. Cooper Walker to the on-deck circle. Wrapped foul in the direction of third. Every game but one here on JockJive, and that one is the one at Charles Henderson tomorrow at 7. Otherwise, you get them all here. And tomorrow it'll be Jason Thompson on the call. James Harney working Saturday and Sunday. I'm heading to Hattiesburg. Got a Dixie Boys World Series there. And then next week, a Cal Ripken World Series in Branson, Missouri. A Babe Ruth in Jamestown, New York. Fall ball coming up in September. ABC Fall League and the Showcase Series. In addition to a game at Truist Park in Atlanta. That'll go to the screen. We'll get in Bettner. Covering the plate is Calvin, but in safely Bettner to make it a 7-run lead, while going to second is Nichols. And yeah, not just baseball here. Football starting, I believe, on August 22nd. As you got a walk given to Hayden Brazil. We'll have Bayside Academy baseball, Georgia Military College football. Did I say Bayside baseball? We'll have that too, but in the fall, football. Also beginning in August, volleyball. Coastal Alabama North and South. And all of it right here. It is going to be a busy fall and then spring and then next summer. And of course, that's how we like it. Just a little bit outside to Cooper Walker. Brian Banks to the on-deck circle. If Banks gets to the plate, every starter will have hit in the third. Nation, Calvin, and Parrish in the fourth for Leeds. A little bit outside, and there's the walk given to Walker. So Nichols will trot over to third, Brazil to second. Walker on at first. And it is loaded from Brian Banks. Leeds had a little trouble getting here today. Had a traffic mishap apparently near Clanton on I-65. And what should have been about a 2-hour trip became about a 3.5 hour trip. Coach out to talk with Calvin. Don't see anybody headed to the bump. Looks like Calvin is going to stay in to face Banks. But Coach trying to put the finishing touches on the third and get to the fourth. As the lights begin to come on here at Troy University. Home to the Trojans, part of the Sun Belt Conference. And I mentioned earlier, maybe we need to declare residency in Troy. We've been here quite a bit this year. In May, for the NJCAA District 2 Championship, Wallace Dothan and Pasco Hernando. In June with the ALA and BCA and with the Showcase Series. And now here in July with the American Legion. Might be our first time working with American Legion, or second. First or second. It's early. But we really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you very much. To all of the folks, Ross Hickson and the gang, for the invite and the chance. Over the head of Brian Banks. Leeds finding themselves down by 7, but get out of the bottom of the third with the ground out by Banks that goes 6-4, leaving 3 runners on, but 3 runners are in as we head to the top of the 4th.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Top of the 4th gets underway. Kamari Nation starts it. Jacob Calvin and Levi Parrish due up in the inning 2. In a 7-zip ball game in the top of the 4th. Swing and a miss by Nation. Leeds, Alabama. That is home to one Charles Barkley, is it not? I think that's where he played his high school ball. That's also the spot of one of the Buckies, as this is popped up. And we'll get on top of the dugout at 3rd and out of play. Bucky's is like the spot, apparently, along the interstate. You cannot go into a Bucky's that is not packed to the hilt. But it kind of reminds me of a Walmart. I mean, if you're going into Walmart to get a gallon of milk, you sure don't like walking into a super center. You're looking for something smaller. Strikeout of Nation. But if you're going for the atmosphere, or if like in, what was it, Athens, Alabama, for the Keith Urban concert, then you're going to want to go to a Buc-ee's. Or if you're going to the restroom, is that not an appropriate topic? They got great bathrooms. Inside with a pitch to Jacob Calvin. Started the game at third, stepped on to the bump when Norris left the game. Ground to third, but in foul territory. Coach Fielding did a good job on the two-hopper. A little bit high with the pitch to Calvin. He popped out to short to end the first. Levi Parrish moving to the on-deck circle. Crowd continuing to grow. Home team post 70 coming up. They draw a pretty good crowd. That is fouled away. Remind me of a number of teams that are summer teams that draw a pretty good crowd. One automobile, the Alabama Raw Dogs, will draw a good crowd. Post 70 will draw. Ground is short. Brazil Fields fires over to first, and out goes Calvin. 2 outs for Levi Parrish. I love all the trackman information around Pace Riddle Field. You can see the speed of the pitch and the spin rate. So too can the fielders, and so too can the fans looking at a different board, the big Jumbotron. Of course, I don't know if it's working right now. It's been stuck on 78 and 1979. I think out of 3 or 4 pitches, you'd have at least some variation in the MPH or the RPM. So when you know, brag on it, and it doesn't work. It's stuck. Like your computer. Like my computer at the house, when I've got something really important to do, freezes. Levi Parrish hit by a pitch. Into the strike zone with the offering. Count goes even at 2. Couple of balls, couple of strikes. 2 are gone, as that one is fouled away by Parrish. Aiden Lang to the on-deck circle. Same guy that began the third begins the fourth for Foley. A little bit low with the pitch and appeal down to first to see if he went. Parrish with the check. I see a gentleman in the crowd with Troy upside down on his cap. That's interesting. I wonder if that means it's right side up when you put your rally cap on. I mean, it would be, I think. Yeah. So are they thinking in advance of the need of a rally cap? One hopped right back to Johnson. He will underhand to first, and the 1-3 takes care of Parrish. 3.5 done. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Jordan Watkins and Bettner coming up.
of LBW Community College is a homecoming for me. It's where I began writing my future, and it's a blessing to come back and help students write theirs. LBW is home. I love how our campus has become a place for our community to come together. Families enjoying walks on campus to faculty investing in our students. There's a place for everyone at LBW. We try to ensure that every student has an opportunity to attend LBW and succeed no matter what career pathway they desire.
Up to bat number 14, Colby Jordan.
Bottom of the fourth gets underway. Colby Jordan will start it. Colton Watkins and Ethan Batner due up in the inning, too. Foley with a 3-run, make that a 4-run first and a 3-run third. As you got a Jordan swing and miss. Top of the fifth, lead sending Lang, Norris, and Burrow to the plate. Swing, miss, drive, chasing it down is Burrow on his way to first. Jordan, and he'll get there safely. Swing drop, strike 3 has the leadoff guy on. And that is the third consecutive inning that leadoff has gotten aboard for post 99. Colton Watkins next. Reached on an E6 and walked. Floats that one in the direction of center field. Layman Giddens there. He'll make the catch, and there's one away. Ethan Batner next. Batner is ground out and reached on an error, scored a run. Mitchell Tuberville to the on-deck circle. Well, I mentioned Leeds, Alabama, home to Charles Barkley. Foley, Alabama, was home to my favorite quarterback of all time, Kenny Stabler. You know, when I was a kid, me and my cousin would play one-on-one football. He was Bob Greasy of the Miami Dolphins, and I was Kenny Stabler of the Oakland Raiders. Foul back to the screen. And did they forevermore have some meetings, the Dolphins and the Raiders? So that meant that, you know, me and the Cuz had some meetings, if you will. Balk and off to second will go Jordan. As Foley's got another base runner in scoring position. Julio Jones is a Foley product, too. Bunt and foul in the direction of first. And little known fact where Kenny Stabler was concerned, he was a multi-sport star. Football, basketball, baseball. His senior year in basketball at Foley averaged about 29 points a game. Chopped in the direction of short, fielded by Parrish. He'll go over to first with the throw. It will get out of the mid of Tylerman. In will come Jordan. I am going to score that as an E6. Again, everything that I do in my scorebook, everything I say, really just about everything I do, unofficial. So it is unofficially an E6. That is a foul ball towards left. Cohen Lambert to the on-deck circle. Mitchell Tuberville reached on an error, and popped up third. Ground to first, fielded by Tyler, and that will get out of the mid. Now, Levi Parrish, I think the sun played a role. It's a line drive shot, and it was in the midst of that ball of orange setting in the west. And Tuberville will get on. And Nichols again to pinch hit for Lambert, so he's no longer pinch hitting. Lambert is out, and Nichols is in. As coach comes out and have a conversation with his pitcher, and it looks like with the traffic he's directing, that he's already indicated somebody else is coming in. So the reliever is getting relief. We'll find out who the new pitcher is when we come back.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Up to bat number 28, Brady Nichols.
The new pitcher is Byron Mizell. Jacob Calvin will work the identical time that Carter Norris did, the starting pitcher, an inning and 2/3. Faced 14, 1 strikeout, 4 walks, 1 hit. Did have some defensive breakdowns behind him. As you got the double steal, nobody covering second, so nowhere to throw for Burrow. And a couple of base runners in scoring position. Nichols with an RBI single in the 3rd. James Nutze on deck. Don't know how many runs yet will be charged to Calvin. He's allowed 4, but there's 2 runners on. That could be his responsibility, too. Three balls and a strike on Nichols. Couple of base runners on. That's inside 2, and Nichols given a walk down to first. That is the 8th walk from Leeds pitching. And it's all loaded up for James Nutze. Nutze has walked and sacrificed, got an RBI, and has stolen a base. Top of the order, moving to the on-deck circle. A little bit inside with a Mizell pitch. Strike delivered on the inside part. Well, our announcer coming in on Saturday is kind of close to Leeds. He's from Lincoln, Alabama. They're on I-20. And Jason Thompson, who's coming in tomorrow, kind of close to Foley. He's from the Gulf Breeze, Pensacola area. That's kind of close to Foley, Alabama. Loaded bases with 1 away. Inside with the pitch. And it is 3-1 on the pressure on Mizell. Walk Nutze and Bettner comes in. And time asked for by Nutze. One more game today, Huntsville and Troy. And then we'll be back tomorrow at 2. Inside with a pitch, it'll go to the screen. That will bring 1 in, as walking in is Bettner. But Burrow gets to it quickly to make sure that Tuberville doesn't come in too.
Bat number 37, Hayden Brazil.
Back to the top of the order, Hayden Brazil to the plate. Strike delivered on the outside part of the plate. Brazil with a couple of strikeouts and a walk. Wide of the zone and the count evens up. Cooper Walker is on deck. Bottom of the 4th in a 9-zip game. Inside with the pitch, good stop by Burrow. If that goes to the screen, the 10th run of the game is likely in. Tuberville over at 3rd. Two on pitch, and the count goes even 2 each. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 away, bases full, and that's a little bit inside. Count runs full. Brazil struck out looking in the 1st, swinging in the 2nd, walked in the 3rd, and in the 4th back to the plate. That is sent over towards 2nd. That'll bring in the run. That's a big run because it now means Leeds has got to get something in the top of the 5th. So Brazil picking up the RBI. And there's 2 going with Cooper Walker next. But our PA guy said Cooper Watkins. Let me check my stat. Here's the problem, is that chances are he is right. And yep, he is right. Watkins. That's the good thing about being wrong frequently. At least I can rely on my wrongness. When there's a question, I can go, chances are he's got it right. It is Watkins, not Walker. I look, and he is right. So there is promise in being consistently wrong. Outside with a pitch, goes over to the screen. In from third comes Nichols. And to third, Nutzi. And now if you are Leeds, you got to have a couple of runs in the top of the 5th. Or there will be no home half of the inning. The Calvin numbers, by the way, worked an inning and 2/3, faced 14, a strikeout, 4 walks, a hit, and 6 runs allowed. Popped up to short by Watkins. Parrish there for the catch. 1 runner stranded, 4 runners in. And Leeds has got to have 2 in the top of the 5th to send us to the bottom of the inning.
You need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master electrical and mechanical skills, process controls, hydraulics and pneumatics, and land a job that can take you anywhere. Start your path to a career that pays. Discover electrical and instrumentation technology at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Top of the fifth gets underway. Aiden Lang starting it. New pitcher on the hill is James Knudse. Knudse's been catching. Says, what the heck, I can do that. Steps up on the bump and gets ready to throw. Lang, Norris, and Burrow. 5, 6, and 7 in the Leeds order. Count even at 2. Lang popped out at the pitcher in the second inning. And he will float that one towards center field. That's going to drop in as a base hit. First Leeds hit of the game. And the runner is on. Colby Johnson worked 4 innings. He faced a total of 13, struck out 6, walked 1, did not give up a hit or a run. And hands it over to Knudse. Leeds has got to have 2 runs to get us to the bottom of the 5th. If they don't, we end it after 4.5. Outside of the strike zone, 2-0. On the corner, it is 2-1. Carter Norris struck out in the second, 1 of 6. Colby Johnson Ks. One hop to short field and nicely by Brazil. Didn't have a play at second and throws away at first. Meanwhile, on his way to third is Lang. So Leeds gets its first hit in the top of the 5th. And Foley commits its first error in the top of the 5th. And now you got the runners on that could extend the ball game. Jakarius Burrow next. Landon Tyler to the on-deck circle. That is hit towards left but foul. A little bit inside with a pitch to even the count up at 1. Landon Tyler to the on-deck circle. Runner goes, won't be a throw with the runner at third, strike delivered. And you got a couple of runners in scoring position, the runners that could extend the game. And they're there with nobody gone. Little bit low to Burrow. And an even count at 2. Huntsville 237. Troy Post 70. Coming up in the 9th count. Landon Tyler next. If we go to the bottom of the 5th, it'll be 3, 4, and 5 in the order. That is knocked down and then thrown away by Knudse. Got it on the shin. He's hobbled. The run comes in. Throw going to second. Another run will come in. Everybody is safe, and we will go to the bottom of the 5th. So I'm giving Burrow a hit. There's an E1 mixed in. Lang scores, Norris scores. Burrow goes to second. And Leeds has guaranteed a bottom part of the inning. Landon Tyler with a strikeout looking in the 3rd. On the inside part of the plate, Riley Johnson to the on-deck circle. Swing and miss, and a couple of strikes on Tyler. So that means the 5th will see Banks, Jordan, and Watkins come to the plate. Ground back to Nutze. He'll go to first. And there is the first out of the inning. Getting Burrow over to third. One out for Riley Johnson. Johnson with a fly out to left.
Number 16, Byron Mizell.
Lyman Giddens moving to the on-deck circle. And hit by the pitch is Johnson. And that's got Coach coming out to have a conversation with his reliever. Nutze has faced 5, given up a couple of base hits, hit 1, and committed an error. And Coach coming out to chat with his pitcher. And it looks like Nutze is leaving. Got a new guy on the bump when we return.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
New pitcher Ethan Bettner. James Nutze will work a third of an inning, face 5. As that is popped up in the direction of left field. And that's going to drop in as a base hit for Lyman Giddens. But able to get the out, so scratch the base hit aspect. Did get an RBI, though, bringing in Burrow on what turns into a 7-4 putout.
Into pitch for Foley, number 8, Ethan Bettner.
So Burrow in to score. And it becomes an 11-3 ball game with a couple of outs. And a runner in first. Kamari Nation to the plate. Ethan Bettner, the new pitcher. In with a stolen base is Giddens. Yeah, the other booth came in and asked me, is that an 8 on the back of those camo jerseys? Well, they're supposed to camouflage, but they camouflage the numbers too. It is difficult to pick up those numbers on those camo jerseys. As a matter of fact, when I think it was Colby Johnson was out there, every time he was out there, was he a new pitcher? Is that the old guy? Got a base runner in second, Giddens. 3 runs are in. Leeds needed 2, and they have gotten 3. As you got a swing and a miss by Kamari Nation. Rejoined by Patrick Kennedy, who has been taking care of some of those commissioner duties.
That's correct. We had a few items to get moving towards to get this final game of the day started.
Well, I thought for a moment we might get it underway at about 8 o'clock with the possible mercy rule, but looks like it may be a little bit after.
Yeah, Post 107 scored 3 runs here to make it a game, and that doesn't look like they're stopping.
Nope. Got a couple of outs with a couple of runners on. Jacob Calvin coming to the plate. That'll go to the screen, and runners will advance. Getting to third, Nation to second. Well, it's the funny thing about baseball. I consider it, just in this particular case, 7 little games all mixed in, and you never know what's going to happen in one of those 7 games, if you will.
And of course, all coaches say we do this 1 out at a time.
This might be the last out. In the top of the 5th, backing up to make the catch is Mitchell Tuberville, and he'll grab it for out number 3. 3 runs are in. Leeds has bought them some more time. We got to go to the bottom of the 5th, and they got to try to keep Foley from hitting double digits again. It's an 11-3 Foley lead.
Of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
We head to the bottom of the fifth. Brian Banks will begin in. Colby Jordan and Colton Watkins all facing Byron Mizell, who came into the ball game in the fourth and faced a total of 4, walking 2, but did not give up a hit. Did allow one of the 11 runs.
Yeah, I want to add that a lot of times the multiple pitchers that you have in these games is for a strategy on our pitch count, so they have them later in the tournament. So in these first games, you'll see a multiple number of pitchers because they're trying to keep their pitch count low, so they're available for the later rounds.
What is the pitch count?
Our pitch count is 30, and then you can play again. You can pitch again the next day. If you go if you go above 30, it's a 2-day rest, and you end up, and that count caps out at 45. Then you have to have a 1-day rest. A 2-day rest is 46 pitches to 60. 3 days, which will put you close to the end of the tournament, is a 61 pitches to 80 pitches, and then you have to have a 4-day rest if you have 81 pitches up to a max of 105. 105, and that's for safety reasons. Several years ago, the American Legion went with the pitch count standards, and that's what we've have landed on. So 30 pitches gets you an opportunity to pitch again tomorrow.
Now, does the day start at the end of the game, at the end of your time on the hill?
It is actually that's a great question. It's midnight to midnight. Midnight one day to 11:59 the next day. That is considered a day.
So if you play at 11 o'clock in the morning and you only pitch 30 pitches, you're eligible to play the next day regardless.
You actually could, if you have a second game, you could pitch later that day as well as a second appearance in a day. But that's a whole nother issue. But yes, it's a 1 day. And it looks like Coach is going out to the mound to make another pitching change. And like I said before, it's probably his pitch count was under that 30 mark, which would allow him to pitch sometime tomorrow.
And it looks like Landon Tyler is coming to the hill. So we'll take a look at Tyler and give you the Mizell numbers when we return.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Well, you got a 3-4-3 put out over at first. Ricocheted off of Tyler and wound up in Lang's hands and back over to, well, not Tyler now, but your first baseman. So a 3-4-3 puts an end to the inning.
He had 2 pitches, and he got out of the inning.
Yep. And the previous pitcher?
Had 27 pitches. 27 pitches, our previous pitcher. So he'll be ready for play tomorrow.
And we're going to get ready for play in the 6th, right into the top part of the inning, in a ball game that's still got leads in it. And, you know, these things, by the way, if you're Foley, you want to put them away when you're up by 11. You leave leads in the ball game, and they can come back and have another 3 or 4 run inning, and before you know it, they're within striking distance.
Yeah, I believe Foley's probably puts some of their younger pitchers in because he had such a cushion of a lead there, and then he put some of his younger pitchers to give him some reps and also to save his more experienced pitchers for later in the tournament. And so that's where some of the 3 runs, and then he made another pitching change. So it's good that they're younger players. They got some good experience and some reps in, and that's the goal when you get a great lead like he had. But it did put him under our mercy rule of a 10-run rule, and we're going on into past the 5th into the 6th.
We'll be back with that 6th inning right after this. Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. Top of the 6th gets underway. Levi Parrish will begin it. Aiden Lang and Carter Norris due up in the inning, too. Facing Ethan Bettner. Bettner came into the ball game and worked 2/3 of the 5th. And now his plans are to work the 6th. Meanwhile, Leeds would like to cut into the lead. Did so by 3 in the 5th. And now working on it in the 6th. Chop towards short. Nice job of scooping on the short hop. Brazil to first. And out will go Parrish. Is there a time limit as far as time of the night or day? Or do you play on until the day is finished?
We play on until we get the games in, and or we decide to come back the next day. The reason we try not to is because of this pitch count and the days of rest. It puts the team at a disadvantage or advantage. If we were not to complete all of the games in that are scheduled in that day, in that midnight to midnight. So, and you can see how that would affect one team, positive or negative.
One away, Aiden Lang to the plate. Top of the 6th, Carter Norris. He is moving to the on-deck circle. When you get to the bottom of the 6th, it'll be Bettner, the guy pitching, and he will become Bettner, the guy hitting, as that one is swatted in the direction of left field. And I'm not sure that left fielder Cooper Watkins knew where that was. It will drop in, go about halfway to the warning track, and Aiden Lang is on with a double. So a one-out double has got a base runner in scoring position for Leeds 107.
Well, they're not just laying down and taking this big lead lightly. Leeds is marching on. They're ready to Post 107's ready to advance to the winners bracket. They are trying to stop this lead.
Wild pitch has got Lang moving 90 feet closer. Down to third. Reminds me of a game in the ACCC tournament I did. It's been about a decade ago, and I don't remember the two teams. I think Wallace Dothan was one. But it was 11-0 after 3. At the end of 8, it was 18-18. So anything can happen.
Anything can happen, even in junior college, even in American Legion.
Even in MLB?
Exactly.
That ball will take some odd hops. Carter Norris with a base runner at third. Into the strike zone with a pitch to Norris, who has struck out and reached on an error. All right, you personally, the latest night ever spent at the ballpark?
It was 2:30. Rain delays, of course.
Yep.
You know, and
of course.
it's summertime. It was in Huntsville. So when we were in Huntsville playing several years ago, the state tournament, and we had to get that game in because we're also mandated to get these tournaments done before the in time for the regional, so they can move on to the next site, the winner. So we have to be ready to move on, and the winner out of this tournament will probably leave sometime either Monday morning or Tuesday, and they'll start their regional soon after that, which will be next weekend.
And where will that be?
That one, as I mentioned before, is in Asheboro.
That's right.
It's in Asheboro, North Carolina. I think previously I said South Carolina, and I thought that was it, but it's going to be in North Carolina, Asheboro. They received the bid to win that site.
Got a pitching change. With the change, we break.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
The new pitcher is Mitchell Tuberville. He is the fourth pitcher used by Foley. Johnson got the start. Nunzi came in. Bettner. Now Tuberville. Bettner worked an inning in the third, faced 6, had a strikeout, a walk, a hit, and hasn't allowed a run, but there is a runner on, and that runner will stay on. As you got Burrow with a fly out to left field. And we go to the bottom of the 6th after a scoreless. Top part of the inning, a double, but stranded is Lang. It is 11-3 Foley. Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. Bottom of the 6th gets underway. Ethan Bettner will start it in an 11-3 ball game. Mitchell Tuberville, Cohen Lambert. And actually, Nichols probably batting for Lambert. As a matter of fact, I know he will because Nichols has done it twice. You pinch hit for a guy twice, then your main guy's gone. So it'll be Nichols batting in the 3 spot. As that is delivered into left field by Ethan Bettner.
This post 107 team's made several errors today. They're gonna have to tighten things up if they intend to have this comeback in the 7th inning. But let's hope they will and make a game for it or not. And see, I like to see a game. When I say I hope they will, I just want to see a good baseball game. These 11-3s are. These kids played hard all year, and you hate to see them go down with off of errors like this, but we'll see.
I've got them down unofficially at 5 errors in the game. Mitchell Tuberville began the ball game in center field and came in to pitch a few moments ago. He's out ahead of the pitch from Landon Tyler. Tuberville reached on an error and popped out to third, reached on another error, reached on errors in the 1st and 4th, and that kind of accentuates what you were talking about. Got a guy here who got on twice because of errors, and in one of those 2 occasions scored. As it is ground to short, Parrish has got it. Gets the out at second, not the out at first.
That was a good effort. Rounded that double play. Just wasn't able to beat the speed of your hitter.
And you got a base runner on at first for Nichols. Nichols has been to the plate twice, singled and walked, driven in a run, and scored one. Has a base runner on at first in the bottom of the sixth. Is there a projected start time for the last game?
We don't have one yet. It'll usually be around 30 minutes, as we discussed before. About 30 minutes at the tail when this game is concluded. It'll be about 30 minutes before we start that next game. But of course, I'm sure both coaches are getting prepared now in the batting tunnels and getting their teams ready. So they'll be ready probably soon. Soon as this game's over, they'll be back on the field doing their pregame warm-ups, and they'll be ready shortly.
There's another one of those things you were talking about. Error number 6 in the game for Leeds, and that will move Tuberville to second and become an RBI opportunity for Lambeth. A 2-run sixth means no seventh for Leeds, as the current lead is 8. James Nutsey to the on-deck circle. Tyner with a look to the runner, Tuberville, the pitch, and it is ground foul. If there is a top of the 7th, Landon Tyler, Riley Johnson, and Layman Giddens.
Yeah, as I was mentioning before, these players started in June with the playing American Legion. School cuts out, you have the holidays, and they've been practicing. They start in June, and so our league runs June and until now, right here at the tail end of July. And it's a very hot 2 months, and they get somewhere between 20 games and 40 games in, and so you can imagine that that's playing several days a week and then several games on the weekends, multiple games. So these players have committed a lot of their summer to playing American Legion baseball. So it's a little bit of a sacrifice to play on these teams, and that's why I really want to see it rewarding coming here to Troy University and having this state tournament.
Are they always playing American Legion teams?
They not necessarily, but they need to play a majority of the teams of their opposition needs to be American Legion teams. A lot of these teams have seen each other in the regular season through a series of tournaments or just scheduling trips. But being that Foley and Leeds 4.5 hours away, I'm not sure if they played each other during the year. The coaches usually get together and try to coordinate these schedules with other teams. We can assist as commissioners, and we assist sometimes in getting those scheduled for them. But, being 5 hours difference, and you don't see the teams many times throughout the year.
How are the 8 teams that are here selected?
The 8 well, this year we were lucky enough that's the amount of teams that we have that enter the tournament. We've had that registered. Go ahead with it.
Base hit into left field, and that will load things up and put the potential game-ending run in scoring position.
The 8 teams we've had let's see, it was close to 12 teams that started out in our season, but those that have chosen to come to the state tournament. There are other teams that play in this division in American Legion, but for some reason or another they have chosen not to come to the state tournament. So we ended up with 8 teams, which is really a good number on our end. In organizing a tournament, it's very hard to get that 9th.
That's a high pop fly in the direction of right center field, but able to go over and make the catch is Layman Giddens. Tagging from third, Tuberville, 2 are gone, and Foley's in runaway from not going to the 7th, and Leeds is an out away from going to that 7th inning. So Brazil with a long fly out to center.
This goes back to what we were talking about, that every inning is a game in and of itself, and every out. And at this point, Leeds' mission is get this out, the post 107, get this out. And 99 is quite the contrary, is get this baseball, a base hit out of the outfield, or out of the infield into the outfield. That's their.
And that's what Cooper Watkins will try to do, and I think was fouled off. And it is, and runners will go back. Nichols will go to third. Nutsi will go back to first.
From up here, it looked like a wild pitch, but the umpire did call it a foul ball.
And it was a wild pitch that would have ended the game.
Yes.
So Leeds gets a break. Watkins popping that one up back towards the screen. And the count goes 0-2. Watkins has singled and advanced on an error, scored a run. That happened in the first, struck out in the second, walked in the third, popped out to short in the fourth, and back to the plate in the sixth. Able to get just a piece of it and stay alive.
I do want to add, those of you that are listening and watching this game here on Thursday evening, if you get an opportunity to come to Troy, Alabama, and on the campus of Troy University and watch the rest of the weekend's activities and games, I would very much encourage it. These players have been playing hard all year.
And it's shot over into right field, and that's going to drop in as a base hit and end it. In to score is Lambeth. That will push the lead out to 13 in the ball game. Won't have to go any further. That ends right there.
And so back to what I was saying. I encourage y'all to come out. If you get an opportunity to come to Troy University and watch these players, they've been playing hard all year, and they would really appreciate the stands to fill up here on the campus of Troy University. And thank you for having me on. And I want to remind everyone this is the 100th year anniversary of American Legion Baseball.
Thank you very much, Patrick Kennedy, Commissioner with American Legion Baseball. Our color analyst guest, we're going to have you back. We're going to have to get a number and get you with other games, too.
I'll come back on our next game.
All right, sounds good.
30-minute break, and then we'll start that next game.
All right, sounds good. 30 minutes. We'll have the final game of the night. There's your numbers on this one. Leeds 3 hits, 6 errors, Stranding 8, and got 3 runs. They all came in the 5th. For Foley, 13 runs off 4 hits. They commit a couple of errors, and they will leave 7 stranded. Their runs divvied up this way: 4 in the first, 3 in the third, 4 in the fourth, and then your remaining runs score in the 6th. And the mercy rule has ended 2 out of the 3 today. Huntsville and Troy coming up. That is about 30 minutes away. We'll see you then. A reminder, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And won't you come back right about 8:30 for Post 70 and Post 237. Troy, Alabama, and Huntsville. For Foley and Leeds, I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.